Hey guys, I'm just over here waiting for water to boil because I'm making this to bring over to my neighbor for our little coffee talk this afternoon. But this stuff, if you haven't run into it, is so freaking good. Rose Cocoa Super Latte. This is something that I bought as an experiment and I'm going to keep buying it. Lillian really likes it too. It's a creamy barista style latte crafted with cacao, pure rose oil, oat milk, superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. You just add water. This is so delicious. It tastes like a really delicious hot cocoa with a rose flavor, but it's good for you, and I feel an energy boost from it. I think it's got like the mushrooms, the adaptogenic mushrooms that do that, but it's really good. Anyway, FYI, so Mr. Beasley is getting fixed right now, and hope he's okay. They told me I wouldn't hear it until this afternoon. This house is so quiet without him here. So it's a little weird. Anyway, so I'll be picking him up this afternoon. I'm biding my time and getting stuff done without him here. I don't know if you saw these flowers. I picked those flowers and made him a little arrangement for when he comes back. If he cares, if he would ever notice, you probably like take him out and try to chew on. I hope you all are doing well out there. Things are great here. It's still unseasonably cold for some reason, but I did throw another peony root in the ground today. Yes, that gives me 7 peonies now in my little garden in the back because I decided I didn't have enough, but I really wanted a yellow one. So I got a yellow outside, pink inside, I think, is this one that I got. And it came like just bursting with shoots. And so I won't get any flowers on it this year, but I will. I did a quick bounce up to the lake house and my 2 out of 4 of my peony plants there have buds on them. So that's been a slow going process. And it is with peonies often. You know, if you grow peonies, it can take a few years for them to get really robust. Down here, though, it's crazy. We are getting so many on our bushes right now. It's going to be spectacular. It already is, but they're just all barely starting to open, and they're just big and bursting and beautiful. I really haven't addressed like the smear campaign stuff here in a while, but I just had a thought. I wanted to share this. Reason 12,567 why you do not respond to these people who are smearing your name. A, it's not good for your mental health, period. But there's good, rational reasons why you don't do that. And that's my water heating up over there, if you hear that. And one of them is this. One of their goals is they kind of want to turn you into them because they want you to get involved in this chaos that they're living in. And so they want you to start smearing them back. So then they're the victim and, oh, they can clutch their pearls. And, now they got a good fight they can sink their teeth into. They're trying to turn you into basically them and what they're doing. So you don't want to do that. You don't want to become that kind of person. Because that probably was done to them at some point in their life, and whoever did that to them succeeded because that person succeeded. They won that game because they turned them into that kind of person. See what I'm saying? Whoever bullied them, whoever did that, succeeded with that aspect of their goal of the bullying, and they turned them into that. They turned them into a bully. They turned them into that kind of person themselves. You got to stop that. The buck stops here on that. Don't take the bait and allow yourself to be turned into that kind of person, because guess what happens then? They win. They've already been conquered by the person that did that to them. Sad but true, but that's what happened. It's hard to resist not fighting back and not, defending yourself or clarifying lies that are being said about you or whatever, jumping into their cesspool. It's hard to not do that, but it gets easier and easier and easier. And once you've built up a momentum of not engaging, not responding, not exposing yourself to any of it, you realize just how toxic it is. And then you definitely don't want to, because it's not anything that's even near your existence anymore. So why would you at that point? But at the beginning, it's shaky. The longer you stick with it, the longer you hang in there with it, It gets easier and easier where they just are like a complete faint memory. Yeah, they want to get your attention and they're going to buzz around like little gnats sometimes, but I think it's less and less over time and they just find other targets because it's not that satisfying when you're not taking the bait, engaging in the chaos, and becoming like them. I think there must be some sort of notion that if they infect you, it takes some of that venom out of them, but it really doesn't. It just makes it more alive. And it's sad. Yes, they became conquered by whoever did this to them, but don't allow yourself to get conquered by them, especially if they're a freaking stranger on the internet. My God, it's a pretty powerless person, right? Find things that give you a sense of power. This stuff right here will give you a feeling of power. I'm getting ready to drink some right now. You know, bolster your health, physical, mental, social health. Bolster yourself in all the ways that you can. So there's no ends to your being for these nitwits to engage. That come back and look at this if you need somebody telling you, don't do it. Just don't do it. Don't, if the second that you see, you know, you might get an email, for example, delete before you even open it, or you start to glance at delete. You don't need to read it. You don't need to know that. You don't need to answer any questions. You don't need to engage. You don't need to explain anything. You don't need any of it. You need to be free of it. So come back and look at this if you need to anytime. Because your Auntie Kathy knows what she's talking about. Anyway, I'm going to go treat my neighbor to this yummy, delicious, because it's cold out and we need a warm snacky snack. All right, catch up with you guys later. Hope you're having a good one.